Aloha and welcome to Jeremy and Asha's post-wedding virtual watch party. We're so glad that you're joining us today. We're coming to you today from Asha and Jeremy's living room at the Ridge Estate in Wailuku, Maui, Hawaii. My name is Tony Rojas and I'm honored to be the wedding planner of this absolutely epic celebration and host for today's premiere. I share with you, I'm no Oprah, so please bear with me today and appreciate any help from our panel as we talk through this fabulous event. You, Jeremy and Asha's closest family and friends, have been exclusively invited to join them today. Whether you witnessed the wedding day in person or are just seeing it for the first time, there is no doubt you will feel the emotion and excitement, the beauty and grandeur, and of course the happiness and elation. Today we are featuring the wedding day that consisted of the sunrise ceremony, the celebratory brunch, and the New Year's Eve gala. As you know, there are a multitude of fabulous events and activities surrounding the special day, which we will be airing on a future date. So be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel for future showings and follow both Asha and Jeremy on Instagram and Facebook as well. Rest assured, there is even more to come. They have a lot up their sleeves. We also encourage you to comment on YouTube. We won't be answering your questions today, but Jeremy and Asha would love to receive all of your sentiments. So thank you so much again for joining us. We're going to start with Jeremy. So before we begin, Jeremy and Asha would like to set the intention for today. So Jeremy?
Yes, okay. So guys, let's just take a minute to ground. Let's hold hands. And everybody at home, please feel free to do the same. Let's close our eyes and just take some breaths. Creator, thank you for today. Thank you for this moment. Thank you for the opportunity to be with friends and family and loved ones today. We are grateful for our health. We're grateful for our families. We're grateful for our friends. We're grateful for the opportunity to be of service to everyone that you bring in our lives so that we can brighten someone's day with a smile or holding the door for someone. That's what we're here to do, is to serve others and to hear your will for us through others. The intention for today is to celebrate the many, many people who made this beautiful celebration a reality, and to connect with loved ones and family and friends, and to reconnect with people who we haven't seen for quite some time. We're truly grateful for this life and the opportunity to celebrate one another and to celebrate today. Amen.
Amen. Mahalo, Jeremy.
Yes.
Now I would like to invite Asha and Jeremy's dear friend, the officiant for their wedding, along with Benny Chun, Mr. Kimo Keo Kapulehua.
He kumu ya maloko ina kupunu yo wahune la he anue ko e valeno ye ke kanaka e ku maloko he ana e bakawa ayano kaukala o kale yo he ano e valeno kale imaela o kaula ike kai ke malama o ni ia amali pa kaino baela ke ino maela he na hala o na wea ike kai no na wea ka hala no puna ka vaine no kalua no ikila wea aye.
Mahalo, Kimo.
Mahalo, Kimo Keo.
Wow,
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. So that was a mele oli, which is a Hawaiian chant as a blessing, usually that it's presented on at the beginning of a special blessing or event. And of course, today is our special premiere. So thank you so much, Kimokeo. Wow. Today, Jeremy and Asha's wish is to share their wedding day video with you and acknowledge with extreme gratitude all of the amazing vendors that came together to make this day absolutely magical for them. There were over 121 vendors over the week. Can you believe that? And although we would love to have them all here on this panel today, we are welcoming a few of our closest friends. First of all, I'd like to introduce Asa Ige of Asa Flowers, Matt Fennelly of Cosmic Dance Connection, and of course Maz Simpson, their right and left hand, Kimokeo, who we already met, thank you very much. And then I'll jump over here, of course, to Robert Crane with Maui Rents, and Chef Brian Etheridge with Cutting Edge Catering. So thank you so much for all being here. As we all know, there's no event that goes without a hitch, and the best coordination takes place by all of us. However, there's always something that arises. So we often are like little ducks, you know, we're riding across the water, but our legs are spinning underneath. Although we do have very many seasoned veterans here of the business, so we all try to keep it as smooth as silk, let's say. But today we are going behind the scenes with this panel before we premiere the video, so you can hear all the fun and the juicy details at the request of Asha and Jeremy, and what it took to create Maui's most epic celebration ever. And I think you all have to agree that who were here to witness the event, that it was the most epic celebration that they've ever seen. But before we get into those luscious details, please welcome our king and queen, our stud muffin and love bug, husband and wife, Mr. and Mrs. Jeremy and Asha Nicol.
Thank you, Jeremy.
So Asha and Jeremy, what was the initial vision you had for your wedding day, and how did you feel about how it all came to fruition?
Mrs. Nicol?
I want to start to say that at the beginning of this, I would have been comfortable just with the two of us. You and me, a couple of friends and family, and we escalated from there. One of my favorite things about you is that you do nothing small. Everything is big, greater than life, and I'm so grateful that that was your intention for this event. It was so special because we were able to invite all of our family and friends to come to Maui, which is our home, and to really celebrate this sacred place with us. So it wasn't just this union between you and I, it was actually this union between your friends and family, my friends and family, and all of the wonderful people that we've gotten to meet on this beautiful island. And it was really symbolic of that all coming together at our beautiful ceremony. And so for that, and for your grand vision of this wedding, I am so grateful. Thank you so much.
Aww.
Wow. So I didn't really have a grand vision of the event. I grew up in the wine business in Napa Valley around the legendary Gil Nicol. And so I grew up around special events and hospitality, and I wanted to honor that legacy. I also wanted this celebration to be an opportunity for me to celebrate all the friends and family that I've had over the last 48 years. I've lived in many places and had many different lives, and this was an opportunity to invite them all to come see us celebrate, and for me personally, doing so well and succeeding. I have not made it easy for people to love me, and so for everybody to get to see me actually loving myself and having a beautiful partner who makes me the best version of myself, yes. I wanted to have one big party in my life, and I'm only getting married once, so this was it. So I didn't know what the vision was, but I knew I wanted to go all out.
Your vision was epic. That was the word. It was epic. So thank you so much. I'm so glad that it came to fruition, everything that you had dreamed of. And of course, we couldn't have done it with all of our vendor partner friends.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
One thing I want to mention is that when we were trying to decide the days, of course, we picked the most epic date possible for a celebration. And when we were talking about Do you want to share? So in the selecting of the date, I'm the planner of the two of us. And so I told Jeremy, we had landed on New Year's Eve, and I said, I have to consult some people. And he said, who are these people? And I said, I have to talk to the astrologer. We have to check to make sure the stars are in alignment, and that this will be the best day for us. Matt knows, you know, it's important. And so come to find out, this was the perfect day to align. And when we told our guests, I think it was one of the most hilarious reactions that we could have asked for, because when we let them know, you have to be ready at 3, 4 a.m. You're going to be at our house at about 5 a.m. before the sun even comes up. People were really shocked, and I don't think they knew what was going to happen. And because sunrise is such a special time for us, we talked with Kimo, and Kimo said, look, we get to teach everybody Ayala A. Do you want to share how that experience was, getting everybody?
When we had a little discussion, but before we start with that, I wanted to say that, you know, Jeremy's, my first meeting with Jeremy was about our host culture, the Hawaiian culture. And so he wanted to make sure that we had included that. And so we included Ayala A, and we would have to have the guests be here before the sun rises.
Right.
And so, but prior to that, we also arranged to have the Ohana for coming to Va'a. And so we had a little time with them with the Va'a and little preparation. So the Ohana was ready to be here. And first is receiving your first phone call, and they would pretty much warm up and learn the LA. So it was great for us to share that with Ohana. But I just want to make it everybody to know that, you know, Jeremy and you wanted to make sure that, you know, the culture was infusing in your wedding. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, thank you.
For honoring the Hawaiian culture.
It was so incredible, and I don't know if anybody has, I'm sure there are others who have gotten to experience this, but on your wedding day, to be able to walk out and hear your friends and family chanting Ayala A as the sun is rising literally took my breath away. And I've heard the expression a number of times, but to actually feel that and to literally not be able to breathe was an experience that I never had. And as soon as I looked over at Jeremy and he gave me a big smile, it really calmed my nerves, and it was just the most magical time.
Absolutely beautiful. And I have to say, you're not just a beautiful bride and groom, but you both possess truly loving souls, as we all know. And I want to extend a special mahalo out to some of the family, of course, especially to Jeremy's mom, Susan. I know you're watching out there, Mom. And Asha's grandma, Jean. And Asha's mom, Jennifer. And of course, both Asha's fathers, both Andy and John. So thank you so much for creating these beautiful people. We really appreciate it. Now we're going to move on to some of the more juicy parts of things. First of all, I should let you know that it was an absolute honor for me to be selected as the wedding planner for this beautiful couple, the vendors of which many have become now friends of Asha and Jeremy, all again put their hearts and souls into this celebration to ensure that their epic dream became a reality. This includes the whole Valkelly team, which is Asha and Jeremy's team right here on site in Maui, that worked beyond the call of duty, jumping in anywhere and everywhere to make sure everything was just perfect. So thank you so much. So let's jump into Maz now. We move on to our first guest, Maz Simpson. Maz adopted Jeremy as her Hanai, which means adopted in Hawaiian, brother, and witnessed him falling in love with Asha. I sat down with Maz this week to hear more about their special bond. So let's hear more from Maz. First guest is Maz Simpson, truly someone very special to Asha and Jeremy, as she was there while they were dating, announced their engagement, and now is a witness to their vows. As their Hanai auntie, she supports their goals with grace and a beautiful spirit. So you had a bond immediately with Jeremy.
Yes.
Your personalities really clicked, didn't they?
Yes, they certainly did. I refer to Jeremy as my little brother. You know, and he was truly looking for a home base, a place in Maui to heal himself, a place for him to start a family. He just kept saying that to me. And he was out there looking. And one day he came back and he said, Mars, I think I found the one. I said, you did? And yes, as you all know, that Asha came into the picture, and he was so excited meeting Asha, and he truly pursued her. He knew this was the one he was going to marry, and he just went after it. And what was so admirable about him is that he said he was going to marry this woman, and he did it. He did everything he could to make sure he got Asha. And so that's how, watching from the sidelines, the way he pursued it, he did everything he could to get Asha's attention. So that was so beautiful. The first time I met Asha, Jeremy brought her up here for lunch with us. And, I walked up to her, gave her a hug, and same thing. At that instant, we just connected. And I said, oh my gosh, we need to get together and have a cup of coffee and talk. Because I knew that Jeremy was pursuing her, and I knew what Jeremy was just all over her. And she needed someone to talk to. Mm-hmm. So yes, so that's how Asha and I met. And just like Jeremy, we just got along right from day one.
And how did he sweep her off her feet?
Ooh, you name it, he did it. Yes, anything she wanted. I mean, I would say he was there every day, every hour of the day in her face, kind of thing. Yeah, she could not get away from him. She actually was asking for space so she could think about the relationship, because he was there day and night, just making sure that he just wanted her to say yes.
He proposed in Tahiti. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So he had purchased the ring in advance and took it with him. And where were they when he proposed?
If I remember correctly, he purchased the ring. He was very nervous. They went to Florida. So he would come to the office and he would tell me, Mars, I need help. Maybe I'll propose here. So we're thinking, okay, we will help you. Tell us when, where, and we'll do it. I think he went to Florida. He went somewhere else, and we're trying to organize for him. But every time we do it, he changed his mind. It's not as romantic. It's not, he didn't feel it. He didn't feel like it was the right place. So I don't know exactly when Tahiti, but I know it happened in Tahiti.
That's a bit of a trend we've learned with Jeremy, is that he has an idea, but then his ideas grow and they're grander and grander. And that is where we're going with the wedding as well. The key word for that was epic.
Exactly.
Yes, so I'm sure he also wanted to make this engagement epic as well. And so obviously you were his confidant when it came to coming up with ideas. So tell me a little bit more about that. Were there other things that he came to you about?
Oh yes, I mean, he wanted to take it to Fiji because I'm from Fiji. Then he changed his mind. Well, maybe it's somewhere else. Maybe they'll go to Africa, and they were going to go, I think they were going to the Middle East somewhere. So it just kept changing. Mm-hmm. It kept changing, but he would come back to me and ask me, what do you think about this place? Should we do it this way? Should we buy this? Should we purchase that? It just went on and on and on. All of a sudden he said, okay, I'm going to do it. We're going to Tahiti and I'm just going to do it. And I just kept praying in the background that he would.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yes. Yeah, so obviously it meant so much to him to just make it the perfect moment.
Exactly. And he did.
Oh, that's beautiful. Good job, Maz. You're definitely a light you bring to Asha and Jeremy's lives. So, Asha and Jeremy, tell me more about Maz and what she really means to you.
Mrs. Nichols?
Good. Mars is our great connector. That's what we love about Mars. Mars always knows the right people at the right time and links us up with some of the most incredible people, most of which you can see here today. And for that, we are so grateful. Mars is also a legacy in this home, and she's the bridge between what Leona and you started before we were here, and to be able to continue to have you in our journey as we are honoring that legacy, we are so grateful. We can't express how much we love you and how grateful we are to have you in our lives. You're so welcome. Yay, Mars!
I'm sorry, hold on. Whoa. Hold on.
Right, there's more.
I
we could go over Mars all day.
You know, when I acquired the house and Asha moved in, I begged Mars to stay on and to chaperone and to guide and to, tell me when I was screwing up. And she did that, and I appreciate that. And, you have to do it pretty much on the regular. But I've always admired your honesty, your integrity, your heart. And so thank you so much for this journey together. I love you.
Love you too. the scariest part. Can I say a scarier part? When Jeremy came to me, and one day I drove up, and he was all dressed. First thing in the morning, I'm like, "Where you going?" And he goes, "I'm going to see this guy. I'm having coffee with him." I'm like, "Who's the guy? Where are you going?" And he said, well, at that time, Asha's boyfriend, and I said, "You're having a meeting with him? Where are you having this meeting?" He goes, "I'm going to tell this man I'm in love with Asha and I will marry her." I'm like, "Okay, where are you having coffee? Is it in public? Are there somebody else going with you? I'm going to send other boys with you." "No, I can handle this by myself." He got in his Jeep and he left, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, please somebody just guide him, just take care of him." Because he's new to Maui, and I was so nervous for him. But he was bound and determined that he's going to do this. First thing in the morning, I was sweating in my office like, "Come back, just please come back." And then I see the Jeep coming, like, "Oh, okay, he's okay." And he walked right past me, went to the room, and we didn't talk to each other because I think we both knew at that time he needed to do what he needed to do, and I needed to just say that in a way. But it turned out good. So I was so happy.
Beautiful. Thank you, Maz. Now we move into the behind the scenes, the more juicy stories, the ones that make us laugh and maybe even cringe a little bit here and there. So hold on to your Val Kelly hats, cowboy hats, and here we go. So next we welcome Matt Fennelly of Cosmic Dance Connection. Jeremy and Asha wanted to prepare themselves for the traditional wedding dance, of course, and Jeremy also had a little surprise up his sleeve for Asha as well. So next, let's get that scoop from Matt. You had one of the biggest jobs of all, I must admit, and that is taking Jeremy and Asha and instructing them on how they should be dancing at their celebrations. And also, you also had Jeremy, who wanted to be Elvis. He wanted to do a special performance for Asha for Elvis. So let's start with the easy one, the Asha and Jeremy dance.
Okay.
Tell me about them when they first came to you and their experience with dance and your first impression. And no holds barred here. You can go for it.
Great. Yeah, well, I have been teaching wedding couples for over 15 years now, and there were a lot of similarities that Asha and Jeremy brought to the table that I've been used to in the past, but also a few differences as well. They were two of the most fun people to work with, one of my favorite wedding couples of all time. They brought a seriousness to their learning, but also a playfulness to the whole process. They had big dreams, and I'm a dreamer myself, so we got along very well, but I was also very realistic with them, considering how long I've been doing this and knowing what they wanted to achieve in such a short amount of time. And in order to execute it to their satisfaction, we needed to allot enough time at the end for polishing and practicing the performance, not just learn and go. So we wanted to incorporate a lift, and we experimented with a few of them. That one fit them the best in the song and also with the staging, with the size of the floor. And it was right in the middle of the whole piece, so it was kind of a showstopper moment for them.
It really
And
was.
You're right, they were very poised in the whole dance. We went from sort of one image of a pose to the next to help connect the sequencing, which really helped Jeremy's learning style.
Which was what?
Well, he's excellent at hyper-focusing and sequencing in short chunks.
Great.
Whereas Asha, she was able to really remember the whole sequence from beginning to end. She could rattle it off. She could count to the music, whereas we were developing Jeremy's ability to feel the music.
So you also got to experience the evening and watch them together, which I'm sure that you had such very proud moments. And I know that you came up to the stage area and was there to kind of prompt them as well, which was really great. Although I feel at that point, they did very well by themselves, didn't they?
They were very confident by that point, and that was the goal, was to make sure that they could execute it from beginning to end without worrying too much about it. I was very happy to be there. It was the first time that I've ever been at one of my wedding couples' performances of their wedding dance, so that was a real treat for me. And I was also happy to be there for moral support. But also as the choreographer, I was in direct communication with you and with everybody involved to get a really good understanding of the lay of the land, the flow of sort of traffic, foot traffic. You, as a choreographer, your imagination is one of your biggest strengths, and so I was trying to really get a grasp on how everything was going to be so that there wouldn't be any surprises. And I also tried to prepare them in case there were any surprises so that they knew how to remain calm, cool, and collected to execute.
Oh my goodness. You know, I just have to say, for everyone who's watching virtually, and if you're laughing, I hope you are taping some of this behind the scenes at your own homes, because I know Jeremy and Asha would love to see that. So push that video record button for us, will you please? All right, so Matt, you were very, very kind. You were very gracious. So please tell us more. I mean, really, did they walk in with natural dance moves and the rhythm that they needed? Please share.
Not exactly.
Let us have it, Matt.
Asha had told me that she had danced before, and I could tell, but Jeremy admitted that he had never danced before, other than, you know, just for fun. And we just did a lot of experimenting at first and saw what fit and played to both of their strengths, and it really just bloomed into something fabulous.
It was fabulous. Thank you so much.
So well said.
That was so
Right?
well said.
You did really good.
I think to that point, I just want to give Matt major props. I think we spent the most time with Matt, 3 days a week, hours on end, so much patience. You are an absolute incredible teacher. And I think one of the most beautiful things was you played on our strengths, and you were going to make sure that we looked good, and by golly, we did.
Yes,
so thank
you did.
So
Absolutely.
Much. Thank
You looked absolutely fantastic.
Wow, putting the Elvis move in him?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Matt, I gotta just say thank you, you know, for taking time to teach me and Asha, me, my groomsmen, and my mom. My mom, you know, I wish they had shown the video of us doing a lesson with my mom, but she had just had her knee surgery done and she could barely move, but you still helped us do that. And, you know, I spent out of, you know, the, 30, 40 lessons we had, you know, 3/4 of those lessons I was dancing with Asha, but the other 4th I was dancing with you. So, you know, thank you for teaching me how to lead by following you. And you're a beautiful teacher and a kind soul. We love you.
My pleasure.
Yeah. There were some really beautiful songs that you had selected. So one of them I know was Fly Me to the Moon, something that you have in common with my friend right here. Share a little bit more about that.
There was a moment when we were practicing, I think it might have been our last rehearsal before the big show, and Robert was working diligently on the tent. And I remember you came and you stopped and were watching, and we asked, you know, what are you doing? And then you shared with us your story. I think it would be better said by you if you don't mind sharing.
Well, the way I remember it is, yeah, we were working, you two were kind of, it was a beautiful moment, just casual. You're out there doing what you'd been practicing, and it meant a lot to me because when I got married, I had the same song, and I've been with my wife for going on 30 years now. And
To the wife.
it was just beautiful to recreate some of that in my mind and take me back to that time in my life, and it kind of instilled that magic again. And it was neat to be kind of behind the scenes for a lot of that, to watch you two fall in love and go through the trials of learning and the struggles that, you know, you do go through when you're learning how to dance and connect. And to be able to witness that and watch you dance with your mother, and just kind of some beautiful behind the scenes casual moments were gifts to me. It was neat to watch, and So not only do we get to set up and have, you know, satisfaction from setting up something big and beautiful, but then we got to witness kind of the personal moments, and so it was great.
It's very touching.
It was, and I think the song too was also, yeah, it was pretty memorable.
It's a great
Fantastic.
It's a great song.
That was very good.
And who would have thought you could learn so many life lessons from dance? It really set us up to work through challenges and to really have fun while we were doing it, because it was a challenge at time. And so I think from that foundation, we've set this, not that it isn't fun already, but it just showed that in hard times, in learning and in growing, we can still have a good time and get through it. So thank you so much.
Yeah. I just want to say one more thing, that I'm not naturally, you know, a dancer. I'm dyslexic and I have ADHD. And so Asha and Matt really were patient with me. I mean, I would get more frustrated myself than anybody, but I did storm off a couple of times and throw a couple of temper tantrums. So, yeah.
We
Yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah, really,
we'll
right?
Well, we could do some more behind the scenes, yeah.
You did good, though, bro. You really did good. Seriously. I was so proud to look at that, man. Obviously.
Well, also, I injured myself like 48 hours before the wedding, trying to, you know, shake my pelvis, and I apparently shook it right out of its socket or something. But we got to it.
Yeah, so in the middle of the night before everything, that is when my heart skipped a beat, because I get a last minute text telling me about this injury, and I'm messaging him back everything that I can think of to like help reduce the swelling and what he can do to get through it as planned, but then to also let me know if there's anything that we needed to modify at the last minute, and I was going through that in my head. So wow, yeah, thanks for reminding me of that. I was like, glad I didn't silence my phone that night.
You know, can I say something real quick? My hat is off to you, because it's been 3 years since I got married. We did the choreographed dance. I still haven't watched my video. I'm so mortified to watch it, and you're broadcasting it, and then you nailed that. The practice moves translated perfectly to what you executed, man. So, well done, sir.
Well done. You truly made it unforgettable. Yes. Thank you very much. So next, let's connect with my longtime friend, Robert Crane, with Maui Rents. And Maui Rents was established way back in 1962. And, you know, Robert and I weren't around then, but, you know, hey. But he really is a fabulous gentleman. I've worked with him for decades, and we've done many festivals and celebrations and many other events together. So it was only appropriate for me to reach out to him when Jeremy said, I want an epic tent. I want it bigger, make it grander, make it higher, make it clear, make it this, make it that. So with all that said, Robert, welcome. And we always know that you're professional and always cool, calm, and collected. But please tell us firsthand about the whole tent journey, because it was a bit of a journey. Yeah. And certainly, again, you were very cool, calm, and collected through the whole thing. So please share your story.
Okay. It was multi-layered. There was a lot to it. I worked with you when I first came to the island. You worked for a prominent venue, and you were one of the first people I met, and you took me under your wing. And as a business owner, a new business owner, that was just something that I really valued. And so our relationship grew over the years. Anytime I saw you, no matter where you were always, you know, directing something big. But I always had peace of mind knowing that you were spearheading the event. And so I've always just really appreciated you, your energy, and enjoyed working with you. So there was that. When you call, I'm coming when you call. So
Thank you.
that
that deserves that. Yeah.
Thank you.
And then when I came in Arise, I realized that we didn't have a whole lot of time, and learning Jeremy quickly, I knew I got a hint of that, you know, bigger is better, but I didn't understand the scope of it. And it started to grow quickly. And to be honest, I was fairly nervous. I was a little bit apprehensive because I didn't know if the target was constantly moving and everything was growing, if maybe we were going to bite off more than we could chew. And so I kind of had to just be patient. I trust your judgment, getting to know them. I definitely felt reassured quickly, but I was nervous. But what ended up happening for me, like I said, there was quite a few layers. This ended up being my most satisfying piece of work I've done throughout the years that I've been doing this, and I really enjoyed this one. Obviously, working with you, the energy that Jeremy and Asha brought, they really. There's a lot to it. The importance of bringing people together. It wasn't just about an event. It was about connecting people, and it's even continued on probably a year later almost. And we're still, they're figuring out ways to still connect us and bring us together. And I've learned a lot from that. I do a lot of big events, but I haven't necessarily always understood the importance of kind of the tradition and doing things for the sake of what's the word? I guess the formality or the tradition. And they have really emphasized that, and I see the beauty in it because it's brought connection, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So a lot of layers, but it was a 7-day production set.
Yeah.
You know, there was a lot, and you were working till 11, 12 at night, and definitely feeling guilty working into the night because it's on their property and they need to sleep.
Right. So it was
But
all about keep it quiet, you know.
But we need to
They're
complete
still
the
here.
work.
Right.
So a really large production set, impressive. I enjoyed the entire experience. I saw a lot of other people stressed, and I could see that there was a lot on the line.
We were not.
But for me, I loved it all. I loved the entire process. You know, there were some electrical things that kind of scared me in the final hours on just the house and some of the electrical stuff and all the lighting that we put into it.
Yeah, we put a lot of lighting in there.
There was a big draw.
Yeah, it
on the
was a
home.
big draw.
But I love the entire process, and I'm still enjoying it.
Good.
I really value you two. Every time I kind of get a glimpse into your lives, like even today, just feel enriched, and I'm grateful that you continue sharing your love, and then I get to take that home and kind of, offer that to my family. That there's a lot of great things that have come from this, and I've worked on a lot of big events, and Maui has a lot of prominent people, but by far, I would say, this is the most enriching and the most rewarding work that I've done. And I really appreciate it.
Oh, that's lovely to hear. Thank you. And we should share, let me do a little bit of the timeline here. You were engaged in March, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and then you were talking about the wedding. I was called in by Mars 4 months before. I had to wrap my head around what EPIC was, and then ask all of our wonderful friend vendors here to get involved in it. And if
Would shift.
right, the EPIC did shift a little bit here and there, and then by 3 months and then 2 months, then I know we were all starting to feel the pressure because it was on New Year's Eve. So we had labor to consider, we had other special purchases. We live on an island, so many things have to be shipped in. So there's minimal amount of what we can pull from here on Maui. So I think everybody here and more very much felt that pressure along the way. I know with the tents too, making sure that we had the right size tent, and Jeremy's request to go big or go home. We kept increasing the size of it, which was exciting. And then we also had all these beautiful chandeliers inside the tent. And I didn't hear this story, but I heard that you had to put the chandeliers together, but also you had to bring them up here at 10 miles an hour.
Less than 10 miles an hour. So it's a 20-minute drive if you're doing 30, 40 miles an hour. But if you're driving 5 or less, and I don't know, there was roughly 20, or I can't remember the count, but we couldn't fit them all in the truck, so we had to do multiple trips. At times we were driving 2 miles an hour. Wow. And the boys were holding, we'd had them all tied, but you got, hundreds of little crystals hanging off them. You'd have loved to see in the picture of the boys in the back there, they had their leg and then hanging. They're keeping them stable. And I had all the guys in the back, including my son. It was pretty comical. We laughed pretty hard. But yeah, there was a lot to it. That was one of the other things that made it really rewarding, is not only your personalities, but how elaborate you wanted it. And that, being that you wanted it just so with the fabric and the lighting, it really allowed us to kind of step up. And it's fun to step up and produce and it be beautiful. And it took you having that vision, but it was a gift for me, and I really valued it. So.
And we had a lot of logistics as well, because we had Asa with his flowers. You were putting up the tent with the lighting, and I don't think people realize that as you had said before, there's a lot of layers when it comes into doing all these setups. And then it's the timing, who's coming in first when, right? And making sure everything it continues to move, because we only had a certain period of time to pull all this together and make it right? So.
And the weather was also an issue, the fabric. You set up all the fabric in the tent.
Yes, the weather as well. So, what was great, thank you, Jeremy, for taking some time-lapse photography or video on that, because that was absolutely fantastic to see all of that. So I'm glad you jumped in and did that. That was great. And so with that said too, I know that at that point, that's when you feel like, oh, okay, this is in motion now. We've done a lot of talking about all of this, but now it's in motion. It's coming to fruition. So how did that make you feel?
Mrs. Nickel.
I just want to say thank you, Robert. You went above and beyond every chance you could. And I remember at one instance, we had a conversation and you said, if anything happens, day or night, 3 a.m., call me, because I'll come over and make sure that the tent was safe. And I know safety was so important to you. And I honor you and I respect you so much for that, because where we live, it is extremely windy. So to say that the weather was a factor is putting it mildly. So I just want to, again, say thank you so much. And the tent was so big. It's the biggest tent I have ever seen. And to the point where we had friends and family who were flying in, and you could see the tent from the airplanes as you were flying in, and you may have been able to see it from space. So it was incredible.
You could see it from Olinda, from my
yes,
house.
you could.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, you could.
Yeah.
There was a big surf swell, and I was out tow surfing during that event, or during your event, or while we were setting up. And we were probably a mile offshore out of the buoy as we were coming back. And we could see it a mile offshore. Right? So I was kind of bragging, like, we're setting up over there.
That's my tent.
That's Maui Rents there.
If I may, I just want to say, Robert, you also inspired us. You and your team were professional and enjoyed everything. I mean, your guys, man, they're just big, burly Hawaiians. They're also got hearts of soul, and they're so kind and sweet. And we got to talk story and break bread together. And I really enjoyed you and your team. And thank you so much. And thank you guys for all your hard work.
Yeah, you said two things to me that really meant a lot since we've connected. And we first connected, and we were getting to know each other. And I was trying to give you an idea of what the scope of, what we could do, and if it would work for you. And you took me up on the hill here in a new track that you developed, and you said, Robert, take out your phone. I want to document this, because we're going to be friends for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I want to document this. And that was a really memorable one. It was a pretty cool thing to say. And then another thing that meant a lot to me was, it was late in the evening. It was probably like 11 at night. And you walking out, and you wanted to show your fiance kind of the work that had been done. She wasn't here, and you're on FaceTime, and you lean over to me and you, hopefully this is okay to say, he said, Robert, my dad was a baller, and he did some pretty amazing stuff. And I've never seen anything like this. Mm-hmm. And I've been to a lot of great things. And what a compliment, Yeah. It felt really good to be, 5-6 days into a set, and for you to say something, it was such a gift for me. There were many facets to this, but both of those things stuck out. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, Robert. You and your team did an absolutely incredible job, but I have no doubt. All right, let's move on to Chef Brian. Woo. Talk to everyone's favorite, the food. Oh, yeah. This wasn't just food, it was exquisite cuisine from Maui's award-winning chef Brian Etheridge of Cutting Edge Catering. And Brian originally opened Capiche in Maui back in 1998. And he's really a great leader in sustainability. He handpicks all the freshest local ingredients, and he is his own commercial fisherman as well, on top of everything else. Oh, really?
I don't have time anymore.
Yeah, I think there's a six or seven more other hats, and but one of his wonderful hats is taking care of weddings, and specifically this one, which you did an incredible job. And so, welcome, Chef Brian. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we know you've got some dirt to talk about. So on a scale of this was no problem, which we all say, yeah, no problem, to I'm going to pull my hair out, what was your biggest challenge?
Well, that's a good question. I was preparing to give you a number, and I was just waiting to hear what my scale was because I was going to far exceed it. I think you said something about are we biting off more than we can chew? And I think at one point I did realize that we were. And the reason that we were is, and I love a challenge. My entire career, 35 years doing this, I push me as hard as you can. I want to create something new. I want to break the mold, whatever. That's my personality. You put that on a small island on New Year's Eve, that's where we started running into other problems. Because I have, two different companies that run. I have a lot of very talented chefs that work for me. But we have other events going on and other private chef jobs that we're doing, and all of a sudden I'm like, how many courses are we doing? How many parties are we doing in one day? I think it kind of ended up really being. It started it was going to be 3, but your chef took over the early morning one, which thank God, Maya. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Maya. And so that left us with the brunch and then the big event, the gala that evening. I would say that was the longest work shift I've ever done in my life.
I'm with you.
We did, and there was no stopping. I don't really remember eating that day.
No.
It was about 30 hours straight.
Yeah.
And hundreds, and like you, I mean, I couldn't even, as you're speaking and giving, it was 7 days, I'm like, I don't even know how many hours that really went into preparing everything, and we back it all up. I mean, it started months and months beforehand, right? With getting to know each other and doing some tastings.
Right.
And it's the only wedding I've ever done 2 wedding tastings for.
Yes.
Right, and then rightfully so. I mean, at that point, it was only one event from what I remember, and then it grew. And then somewhere along the line, I'm like, wait, how many events are we doing?
Right.
You're asking for another menu right now, but that's a different menu. That's your brunch. Okay, so we're doing a brunch now? So once I finally understood what we were doing, I started kind of absorbing the gravity of that and how are we physically going to do that, And you're right. I mean, this is a small island, out in the middle of the Pacific. And we have finite resources. That is the busiest night on the island. So I can't dip into restaurant employees. They're all booked. They all have to work that night. Other caterers are going to be booked that night. So we got a little bit nervous, but then I realized that there's nothing we can't do with the right planning, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So then I think we all got a little nervous. Our first meeting was great, right? I think we had a pretty good tasting. The second one, not so great. Well, I'll be honest. I mean, it was the first time in my career that I've ever dropped the ball on a tasting. And one of the hats that I wear, we've done a lot of advocacy work. And so we've been feeding the homeless and the displaced residents of Lahaina since the fires. And one of the things, used to fish. My business partner in the building where our catering company is, he's a big commercial fisherman now. And so we were giving away fish and doing all of these pieces, right? And that morning of our second tasting, I got the call that they were shutting down one of our major operations that we were supporting. Now, this was a double whammy, and I didn't know how to take it, because part of me was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to fire employees. I don't have the work for them anymore, right? And that was like one of our biggest struggles, or our biggest motivations after the fires was, you gotta keep jobs, we gotta keep working. How do we do that, right? So we go from doing high-end events to, feeding a homeless camp. So that was a big morning, and I probably should have called off the tasting. But when you have an event of this caliber, you don't call and say, I can't do it.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe there's a lesson for me somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So anyhow, nothing I did that day worked out. I mean, the flavors did that, and I went back afterwards and I looked at the menu, and the menu made sense. It was bad. It was I was trying to create some structure out of crispy tapioca and get a plate, and it just fell down like a melting lollipop. I was just so sad.
Yeah. But the good news is, on the wedding day, everything went flawlessly as far as the guests were concerned.
Great. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. A couple of the uh-ohs is, where he bought the best caviar that I could find, and a lot of it. And then no one was eating the caviar. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, they weren't eating the caviar.
Passing out bumps for everybody. Come on.
Right. That was the last minute too. And I know one of the big things that we would discuss is the number of people. Mm-hmm. And so we started at like 175, then we got to 200. And as we've all learned about Jeremy, is he gets so excited about his events and he wants everyone to experience them that he keeps inviting more people. Mm-hmm. So it's like, Brian, 210, Brian? Oh, Brian, 215? However, I think we got up to 226.
Was that what it was? Okay, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
At a certain point, it really didn't matter anymore.
Yeah. Sure, Tony, just go ahead.
We're going to figure it out.
Right. No problem. So thank you for figuring it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other thing is, you've seen so many celebrations over the years. What was the one thing that really stood out for you as being unique? And one of the things I just want to share too is the Val Kelly cake, which you helped us connect with Cake Fanatics in creating that beautiful cake. But I'm wondering if there's anything else, or was it
Absolutely. I have chicken skin even being asked that question, because, and it's already been said here today, but I really think it needs to be highlighted, was this authenticity, this intention to do something special and bring in Hawaiian culture and really pay tribute. And I've seen that done. I've seen it done a lot. No offense to my other clients. Not well, kind of cheesy, like more like Disney World, kind. It's more of a show. No, man, I felt it. And that was really magical for me. And I'll tell you, in the hundreds of events that I've done in the 25 years that I've been an entrepreneur and chef here, I have never been blessed.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Yes, so thank you. Thank you very much, Kimo Keo too. Thank you for that. Now, Asha and Jeremy, as you know, were absolutely beautiful all day, and they were greeting all of their guests, and then they sat down on this beautiful rotating platform, which we have a story about as well. But in reference to food, did you even get to eat?
Graciously, we had somebody who was designated to us to make sure we always had drinks, we always had food. But I think the adrenaline was just going, so our last time eating your food was that second tasting, which is a little
Oh no.
That's true. We heard the food was delicious, the cake was delicious. But we did get to snack. Someone was dedicated to us. The food was always there, but I think the excitement was just so overwhelming that in chances when we could. And Jeremy was doing 4 different outfit changes. So did you get a chance to eat?
I did not. Looked really good.
No caviar?
Well, there was leftover caviar that we got to enjoy for the next couple of weeks.
That's true. That is true. Yeah.
May I? So, Chef, can I just tell you that your team were wonderful. They went above and beyond. Everybody, you know, I tasked you with creating a French Laundry experience for 226 people over 7 courses. That's, I remember
On the side
saying
of a
that.
mountain.
Yeah, on the side. And that second tasting, I leaned over to Asha. I was like, "Can we fire him?" And she said, "No, we already gave him his deposit." So I said, "Oh God, well we'll be okay." It turned out amazing, and so everybody here goes above and beyond their professions, but you have a very kind heart. We all have kind hearts, but what you do for the homeless is just really inspiring. So thank you for your service to this community, and thank you to your wonderful team. And yeah, you know, we're all friends outside of, you know, this amazing event brought us together. But so I can't wait to go hang out with you and shoot some guns and get in some trouble.
One of the things I want to commend you on as well is this thoughtfulness with the wine pairings as well. And that was something we talked about. And it wasn't just pairing the beautiful wines with the food, but it was also having these extraordinary non-alcoholic drinks to go with that as well. So there was this beautiful balance for everybody. Everything was tasty. Everything went together beautifully, and we couldn't have picked a better chef. So
Oh, of course,
Thank you
of
so
course.
much.
And what wines were they, by the way? What kind of?
That's
what
a little
brands
boutique
were we-
vineyard out in Napa Valley called the Vineyard House and Jeremy
Oh.
Nichols Cellars. Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful. All right. Well, thank you so very much, Chef. We really appreciate you. Thank you for being another magic maker. Yeah, yeah. All right. So 2 words now. Those flowers. From the ceremony to the brunch and New Year's Eve gala, today you meet the man behind the design. And he has an incredible team behind him as well, I know. I sat down with my longtime friend and design extraordinaire, Asa Ige of Asa Flowers, to talk about the custom designs for this spectacular wedding. Asa is the Maui Floral Atelier. We've known each other since his company's inception and worked on so many events together since 1982. But this was 3 events from sunrise to midnight, 3 vibes, all needing fresh blooms, and all on New Year's Eve, one of the major holidays of the year.
I've always enjoyed working with you. So
Thank you.
when you called about doing this wedding, it was quite an exciting thing.
Good, good. I'm glad you thought so. I mean,
It was scary and exciting because of the time period. You know, New Year's Eve is not the most common date that people pick for a wedding, but something special usually happens on unusual dates like this.
that's right.
And the immediate challenge that came into my head was shipping, or how am I going to get everything there during the holidays when FedEx and other places close down and people go on holiday. But if there's a will, there's a way.
That's right.
And so we're, in our industry, we're used to dealing with challenges like that.
What was it or that came about that you thought maybe was your biggest challenge of all? Or you thought, oh my goodness, I'm going to need a bigger boat, as in I'm going to need more designers, or I'm going to need more of this or more in that. What triggers me is the time when I went to you and said, you know, Asa, I think we really need to do a chandelier above the rotating platform. And we also need to have florals cascading from the tent roof. Tell me about that. Do you think that was one of those moments when you wanted to pull your hair out?
Actually, no, it wasn't that moment. That was something that I could wrap my head around pretty easily. What was the thing that made me blink a few times was the turnaround time of what we had to do to set up a morning event that was at sunrise on New Year's Day.
No, it was
New
the day
Year's Eve.
before New Year's Eve. Yes,
So
it
it
was
was
the
just the
Tuesday.
timing of, we had to set things up that evening for the morning event, and We needed to have headlamps on to be able to go out to the point and see what we were doing. So that part in itself wasn't too bad. It was again having a morning event that followed the ceremony, and everything needed to be set up prior to that. And then the challenge was the turnaround after the event broke. We had to take everything away and make them go away and completely change out the room from beautiful colors to white. And that means changing the entire chandelier and changing everything. It was like a window that was so short that was the logistic challenge that made me try to pull my hair out.
Oh my goodness. And I remember calling you saying, Asha wants more crystals, put in more crystals, order more crystals.
Right.
And it really made a beautiful impact, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It did. It was the right call.
Now you have experienced, I can't even imagine how many weddings, thousands over the years. And they vary, I know, from 2 people to thousands of people in attendance. And so what was the one thing that made you say, wow, this one is truly unique. I've never seen that before. What component stands out to you?
Truly, I think the component that made me realize that it was going to be that type of an event was when I met Jeremy and Asha. That the two of them evoke so much fantasy and so much desire for something special. And that was kind of contagious, not only through me, but from me passing that to my staff. And to this day, that's how I feel about them. I feel like they're just very special individuals, as everyone is, but I knew at that moment this is going to be something really special.
Always. Although I did feel the pressure from everybody at around 10:45 a.m. when we had to kind of turn it around, and I'd promised you that you could have the floor, or under the tent as we say, at 11 a.m. because we had this turnaround from 11 a.m. and I gave everyone till 4 o'clock only, even though the guests were walking in at 5 o'clock, because I wanted that buffer just in case. So there was a lot of pressure that was given to everybody, just a tad. Well, the wonderful thing is we've got such seasoned veterans here that have been doing this for a very long time that they know what to expect and come prepared the best they possibly can. But there's some things you just can't control, right? Asha and Jeremy, I know that you took some sneak peeks overnight at the setup, including the flowers. So tell me a little bit more about that.
I had my entire bridesmaids party here. Oh, thank you, babe. I had my entire bridesmaid party here at the house, and I don't think I slept at all, and I think the excitement was just way too much. We all were in this room trying to get some sleep, and I remember at about 3 a.m., I walked out and I went and found you, and it was a moment where we got to really spend some very intimate time where you walked me around and talked me through all of the thoughtfulness that happened with the florals, and it was bigger and more magical than I ever could have imagined. I remember you took me to the setup where beautiful Chef Brian's food was going to be, and you were walking me through that it was this wonderland, and it was a fairy, and there was a whole design scheme. And I think what my wish was an over-the-top Alice in Wonderland type of experience, and you well exceeded that.
Nailed it.
It was absolutely nailed it. And there was a moment when I think we were under the chandelier and we were looking up, and we both looked at each other, and just tears of probably exhaustion, happiness, all the emotions were just coursing through. And I feel so grateful that we were able to spend that moment together. So thank you.
I remember that moment very, very well. It was, we were just running around trying to get everything together, and I remember Jeremy being out there too, seeing those branches come up, and the look in his eyes, you know, it was like, it was overwhelming to me because I could see that look of satisfaction of like, I can't wait to see the rest of this, you know? And so it just made me really more so. And then by the time you came out, you know, we had done most of the pieces were set, and I was able to like look at it and feel good about it. And then you show up and, you know, showing you around and seeing the amazement in your eyes, it just it made everything so worth it and so satisfying that I tell people, you know, moments like that, you can't put a figure on. It just comes with the territory of when people are, you know, so happy with something. And it does it also for my staff. I mean, I'm really, really lucky because we have people that truly care about everything that they do. So from unpacking flowers to delivering to everyone they put their heart and soul into it. And for people like yourself who are creative, that depend on other people's creativity, to have that kind of determination and you can't instill that in people. They either have it or they don't. And that energy transforms into that special X thing that happens. And you know, so we're just really, really fortunate. And I can't do it for myself. So, you know, it really does take an exceptional team. And everyone on my team, they're exceptional.
They're exceptional. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Asa. Absolutely fantastic.
I do want to give a shout out to, so in the theme of the event where everything was growing, we also got to do 2 arches, which we really are blessed that you were able to pull off. We had a beautiful arch that was given to us by Susan, Jeremy's mom, and it was such a special piece to be able to glam this up and make it so beautiful. And that was actually the arch that our entire wedding group got to walk through. And so to really honor that and to make it such a prevalent part of our ceremony, I know meant so much to us, and we are so grateful for you for that. And I think we even moved that arch. Was that arch moving? A moving arch?
Oh yeah, we moved and we added some more flowers, and yes, we did all kinds of things. Everything was maximized everywhere.
That's right.
And
then as far as the arch that was down at the end of the point, it was important to me that we could still have this beautiful sprawling view because it was so amazing, and you did a beautiful job of lighting up the flowers and just giving it this ethereal feel. And at that moment, I remember when we were designing the flow of the wedding and what was going to happen when, I have to give a shout out to my hula teacher, Kehalani, because she taught me this hula. And when I asked her, what is the perfect moment to present this to Jeremy? And she said, you've got to do it at the altar with the flowers, with everybody watching. And I can't express enough gratitude to her and for you for making that moment something that was absolutely unforgettable for me. And to be able to dance for my honey and for that expression to be my vows and to see a surprised look on Jeremy Nichols' face doesn't happen very often. So to be able to keep this a secret and to be able to surprise you and really dance and express my love was one of my favorite parts, other than the Elvis, I think, of the entire day. So,
it was really beautiful, and I'm glad you're bringing up the ceremony and the altar area because we're going to go into that a little bit as well. So our final guest today, before we show our wedding video, is Uncle Kimo Keo Kapahulehua, who we adore. And we appreciate you being here. He has a rich and deep connection to his Hawaiian cultural heritage, and he performed Asha and Jeremy's wedding ceremony and guided them through the cultural significance and the tradition. And I must just preface that Al Jeremy had a grand idea to have a rotating platform at his ceremony. And as everyone experienced, we actually moved it and made it the centerpiece of the brunch reception, the New Year's Eve gala. And so maybe we can ask Imokeo to share a little bit more about why we moved it and the importance of the Hawaiian culture in their vows and the importance of them being grounded there on the lawn.
Well, you know, we're in a special place here.
Mm-hmm.
Mauna Kahalawai.
Yes.
We did a sunrise with Mauna Haleakala.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So one is called House of the Sun. The one is called House of
That's the water.
And so we had to show respect, what we call Napoi Kamalu, the people of the heaven. Napoi Kamawana, the people of the ocean. So we are here in a place called Lavai Eha,
Mm-hmm.
water of life. And Napoi Kounua, pay respect to that. So we wanted to respect our kupuna. And with that, we want that music.
Thank you. And what other Hawaiian cultural traditions did you include in their vows?
Maybe not to include it, it was really there. We talked in kuka. Chef Brian, i hele mai. Inoka hale, inoka mei ai, inoka inoka bai. The sacred food that you prepared for Ohana and the water of life of the journey we're about to take with Jeremy and Asha. Raja, inoka hale, eh? We build our home with firmness. And you built it like that. So we had no default in our building. And you had to do it various places. Like chef, had to do different meals, different places, different times. We call it kauna. The deep hidden meaning of who you are, what you're doing, and what you're going to do with Ohana, our family. And all of you did that. You, chef, you, Roger, Asa. Wow. You blew kupuna away.
Yes.
Maui is really beautiful, Asa.
Yeah.
But you took Maui to a different level.
Yeah.
You invited everybody with the beauty you built. The people of the heaven, the people of the ocean, the water, and the land. You collected everything. How you made those choices, when you made it. The challenge that we all had offered us opportunities to share aloha. Unconditional love, respect, care, and share like you do with your people. Like they do. We all do. Matt, wow.
Wow.
Elvis would be proud of you, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You have a guy like here shake like Elvis. All of us love Elvis. There was no other than Elvis.
Yeah.
There was no other. We all were brought up with Elvis. And of course, Elvis' home was Hawaii. And you brought him back here. And to have him do is what he did. Even what he told you, he got injured or whatever, Elvis still came out. It was so beautiful, bro.
Yeah.
You did so well. Mars, your first meeting with Jeremy, I bet you never see the real thing.
Shucks.
You know? Ikolo mea nui, eh? Ikai, one.
Yes.
Faith.
Yeah.
Ilua, hope. Ikolo, aloha.
Aloha.
And you had those three things for him. And you grabbed him like a brother. Said, Bob, we're going to holo, you will listen. And you challenge him to that. All of us, you, Tony, coordinating the ohana. We say, hui ohana, kuka kuka. Let's talk about it. More than talk. Holo ka holo, walelo ka lelo. Walk the walk, talk the talk. They all did it.
They did.
In the most difficult times, they did it.
Yes, they did.
There was something in each one of you. Say, wow, how are we going to do that? You know, listening to Chef about your challenges that day. Mahalo, yeah, for taking care of ohana.
Mm-hmm.
They need us now, they need us yesterday, and they need us forever. So mahalo for you being there every day. Asha, Jeremy, 3 things you should know. Counter, I just told you about that. Everybody here, everybody there have it. It's a sacred thing. The other was Hana Kalima. Hana is work. Lima is your hand.
Yeah.
What you put in, you get out. And you've seen all what they did. But Kupuna say, ikana ne au ayo o ikaulo. Is when you guys decided to do a wedding, the seed was planted. And whether you and Jeremy knew, and what we all knew, it's going to take its own life. And it did. And from that day on, it bring aloha. Unconditional love, respect, and care, share. And look at that. We just want ohana.
Mm-hmm.
One big ohana. Chef, Raja, Tony, Asa, Matt, Mars. All of us. Just with that. We started with this. But we never know that we're all family. Each one of them. And them too. Who came and shared. They didn't come as a guest. They came as a family. And everyone treated everybody like a family. E koma koma koi kalai. E hoana ia koi no. E mahalo i oi loko mai kai. E olo loko mai kai. E kia pua. Mahalo i oi. No Chef Brian. No Roger. No Tony. No Asha. No Jeremy. Kimukeo. Marcus. Matt. Asa. E mahalo i oi no ohana. Mahalo i oi na ama kua e mai kalahiki a kalakau. E kai ho kupu I kala mai. Namo ko I hino kua I gan alu. E ki o kau I ganane lulu kone kau kone. E o ko mako. No Chef, Ryan, Raja, Tony, Asha, Jeremy, Kimokeo, Marcus, Matt, Asa. E no han. Mahalo I na kupuno o kahiko. E ki kai me ke ala o pumihana. No Asha, Jeremy, Nikos. Amama ua noa, elele vale akula. Mikiela Opomiana, with the greatest love of all, Ao Ohana. Mahalo, eh?
Mahalo. Mahalo, Uncle. Thank you very much. Mahalo nui loa. And now we're honored to share with you the full wedding film by Tom Pratt of Rem Films Hawaii named The Heartbeat of the Day, all captured in just a mere 15 minutes. So please get your bubbly ready as we will toast to this very special couple following the video.
Well, I'm sorry, don't go to commercial yet. A couple things real quick. Asa, your flowers inspired us so much that chandelier over the table, we're gonna recreate that with Venetian glass in our entryway. So I can't wait to do that. Kimokea, I love you, man. I feel like you're a brother from another mother, and you know, I'm so grateful that Mars brought you into our lives. And you know, when you first came here, you said, Jeremy, what you're doing is Pono. You know, you're taking care of the Mauna and the Mana, and you know, what we're doing here together, guys, it's all the mountain. It's coming through us. But the spirits and the ancestors are here and been here. And it's such an honor to get to work with all of you and to play with all of you and to just do this on a daily basis. I love you guys.
It's Ohana, bro. It's Ohana.
Last but not least, Miss Tony. Miss Tony. I got to tell everybody at home that I've never met a woman like you before, Tony. You came in here 4 months before the wedding, and we put something on your shoulders that I thought was impossible. and every week, every Wednesday, we would get together and meet for 3 or 4 hours for the next 4 months. And you brought all these amazing people into our lives, and you have handled yourself throughout all of it with elegance and grace and patience, and it's just I've never met anybody like you. And thank you so much for creating the experience of a lifetime and doing it so cool. You know, afterwards we wouldn't let you go, you know. We just said, listen, we need you here with us forever. So Tony, thank you so much. Really quick, what were some of those stats that we did? How many, you know, it wasn't just a one-day wedding. It was a week-long, you know, series of events.
It was a week-long celebration. So with 220 people, we had 27 events. We had over 6,000 flowers.
Yeah.
We had over 200 plus dance hours. We had a 60 by a 120 tent, right? We had 220 ounces of caviar, and many more. But a lot of those stats you'll see, they'll be coming up. We're actually going to show them to everybody as well. Yeah.
Thank you, Tony.
But thank you very much. Thank you.
We
It
love
was
you,
my
Tony.
absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. So now we're going to turn to our special 15-minute video. And just keep in mind all of the discussions that we've had with a little bit of the behind the scenes and how beautifully and flawlessly this all came out.
Okay, folks, we're gonna close our eyes, and on the count of 3, we're gonna take a deep, slow breath in. Maybe I'll take 2. It's just really amazing, and I can't express enough gratitude for the opportunity to be with all our loved ones and friends from around the country. Thank you so much for bringing Asha into my life. Thank you for bringing Asha's family into our life. Thank you for bringing all these amazing people from Maui into our life. Truly, truly grateful. With that, amen.
Amen.
Distance is ignored by love. I think that's a proverb that's been proved tonight to be true.
Thank you so much for coming out here and witnessing this union. Since we moved in, my favorite place to go was out to that point to see the sunrise, and I pray to God and I thank God. Then I come in and I kiss Asha and I make her tea. To get to share that with all of you is really special. truly living on heaven on earth and get to share it with you all here now. This is heaven. So thank you, Asha. I love you, and I can't wait to celebrate you every day for the rest of my life.
Aloha kakahiaka, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the wedding ceremony of Jeremy Nicol at Asha Hall.
This man has never been happy. You've done the one thing that no one has ever been able to do. That ear-to-ear grin is just permanent. And when I saw you come to the altar today, and you were catching your breath, and I saw you melt when your eyes met his, and it just was pure love.
Asha, as we stand here on this altar, the altar that we had constructed on the same spot where I confessed my love for you, here we are, 2 years later. I can't wait to be your husband.
In true Jeremy fashion, you asked me to marry you every single day. Today, in front of our family and friends, I say yes. I will marry you today, and I will marry you every day for the rest of my life.
You've inspired me to be the best version of myself. I'm truly grateful for that. And I'm really looking forward to being the father of your children and you being the mother of my children.
In the power invested in me, I present you Mr. and Mrs. Nicol.
Asha and Jeremy, as you two move forward as one, I would like to wish you both the best future together. Asha, I'm so grateful that you found your person. You're such an amazing human being. I'm so proud of the woman that you've become.
I'll be your hope, I'll be your love, be everything that you need. I love you more with every breath, truly, madly, deeply do. I will be strong, I will be faithful.
Jeremy, thank you so much for loving Asha fully and wholeheartedly. You have such a grounding soul.
For deeper meaning.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you.
I am meditating on our spiritual and sacred bond, which has been consecrated here tonight.
Jeremy, don't talk like that.
Consecrated.
It is with joy and honor that I'm now addressing Jeremy and Asha and all of you on this most delightful day. Jeremy's playfulness, sense of humor, empathy, and courage should serve him well and contribute to happiness on his most exciting and important new chapter of his life. With Asha, whose arrival has been a gift. I'm looking forward to continue to be part of their life together.
You wear your hat, the way you sip your tea, the memory of all that. No, they can't take that away from me, the way your smile just be.
I'm so happy that Asha found you as a partner. Being able to love and support a strong woman is not an easy task. And the way you show up for her and lift her shows what kind of man you really are. I see so much strength in your relationship. I see love, acceptance, self-awareness, compassion, and patience. I see a beautiful, fun friendship. I love when you FaceTime, riding around your land and chasing Luna. And I see that you guys enjoy each other's presence, and you have this shared drive for creation and positive change.
They can't take that away.
Come on!
Only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you.
So I think Jeremy has turned out to be the kid that I thought he might be, and I'm so proud of him, and I'm happy for both of you.
this together. Asha and Jeremy, would you like to share a few words before we raise a glass in a toast to you?
Mrs. Nickel?
Oh, I'm crying over here. Oh my God. I just want to say, oh no, they're like the people are ready.
Yeah, they're coming.
They're congregating.
They're coming.
I just want to say, Jeremy, I love you so much. I'm so grateful for your big heart and to be able to spend this day with my entire family meant more to me than you can ever know. And I really do look forward to waking up every morning with you, celebrating every sunrise as a new day and every sunset as a chance to reset. And I couldn't have dreamt for a better wedding, a more exciting and inspirational life, and the community that we're able to cultivate together, and all of you who have come into our lives. To just say that I'm grateful seems to not even do it justice. I love you all so much, and I love you, and I'm so excited for the life and to honor my family by performing Elvis, because my mom, my grandma, they love Elvis. You really did me proud, and my family loves you, I love you, and I'm so grateful.
Aw, beautiful.
I don't know what to say except thank you, everyone. Thank you, God. I cannot believe this is real. I just can't believe this is real. Maui is amazing, but it's the people that make it special. And I wouldn't want to live anywhere else in the world. I'm looking forward to spending the rest of my life with you, Mrs. Nickel, and raising our children here, and being a part of this community. And I just hope everybody at home, if you haven't been to Maui, please come visit us and experience these amazing people and the mana and the culture. I love you guys. Mahalo ke akua. Let's let them in. Should we let them in?
So following the toast today, we encourage you to stay right here to view our amazing vendor partners that will be showing, and the many photos that we captured, Anna Kim captured, of the wedding. So you won't want to miss it. So be sure to keep your monitors on there. You're going to want to see all of that. And if you want to re-watch and relive this fabulous watch party, then you can do so right here on YouTube, or we will be also posting it on Facebook and Instagram. So right now, we'd like to welcome in the rest of the Val Kelly team to please join us.
Hey,
Come on in, guys. Come on in.
Maya.
Come on in. Come on in.
Is it unlocked?
Yay, babe, I would.
Come on in.
You know what I heard, guys? I heard that I was the only one they wanted to fire.
Oh, the truth comes out.
Thank you for keeping me, Asha.
I knew you would pull it off. I wasn't worried.
Come on in, everybody. Yay. Come on in. A special toast.
Come on. Come on, we got you.
Asha,
Here, look.
there you go. Come on in.
Secret
And
passage.
everybody who's watching us from home, please get your bubbly or wine.
Or your sparkling.
Or your sparkling. We'd love to have you join us.
Okay.
All right,
We got a
Asha and
seat.
Jeremy, would you like to start with your toast, and then we will raise a glass to Asha and Jeremy as well.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, I just want to thank all of you guys for helping make this possible. We did the impossible. I mean, it was obviously, man. Thank you to everybody at home. We love you guys. We can't wait for you guys to come visit us and be a part of our ohana, the Val Kelly Ohana. Love you. And Mrs. Nickel, you're the best.
Thanks, baby.
Asha, would you like to say something?
I don't know. Just looking around at everyone's faces, I'm so grateful that you all are here. And I wish we could literally go on and on and on, being so grateful to everyone who pulled this off. This panel here is definitely important, but they are just a piece. And as I look around the room, I can see so many faces of people who were integral to our day, and they're integral to our lives every single day. So thank you for being here today and tomorrow and hopefully forever.
So toast to everybody.
To everyone.
Cheers.
And a toast to Asha and Jeremy.
And as my dad used to say, here's to us and here's to them, but mostly us. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, everybody. Mahalo to everybody. And again, please stay tuned as we continue to share more about our vendor friends and also all the photographs from the magical wedding. Mahalo.
Oh,